hope I wake up early.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not quite as taken aback as we expected.
I am taken
My guests are
aback.
like,
Jeez. They run away, actually. They run out of the studio.
I am taken aback. I think it's a bit of the English training. You play it down. Yeah. Make sure you seem controlled.
I love the way she maintains a composure.
Yes.
Oh, bless you for that.
Great stuff.
Oh.
It's so good to have you in studio. Welcome back. You're back in acting circles.
Yeah.
You're going to be on the lockdown. Is it next month already?
Next month, yeah.
Next month.
Beginning of next month.
Tell us about just your road back into lockdown, or your road to getting that part. What were the auditions like, and the character that you play?
It's a great story, actually, because I decided at the end of last year that it really is time for me to come back to South African stages and screens. So I got myself an agent, etc. And then I happened to be on social media talking to Losha Cooper, and we were just communicating.
Wow.
And then I was kind of like, yeah, this child, I always loved her and her work, but what was it, right? And so I started to look up her stuff and thought, oh yes, that's right, it was backstage. But then I noticed this lockdown, and I thought, I wonder what that is. Looked on YouTube at some of because they have like scenes on YouTube of it.
Yes.
And I just thought, well, this is a no-brainer. This is the one, because I kept looking and going, what can I be in? What can, talking to my agent. So what's the? I saw it and I just thought, what? How could they not tell me about this? So then I got back to Losha and I said to her that you were amazing in this show. The show is amazing. If the producers, I would love to be a part of this. Can you maybe put me in touch with them? 20 minutes later, she came back and said, you know what, I showed your message to our director and he's lost the plot. He's so excited. So I thought, yes. And then the process began, because then I started to talk to their producers to say, and good old Mandla, really, that guy, I mean, he's an amazing talent for starters.
Sure.
And the fact that he just responded immediately and he basically came back and said, actually, there is a role in season 2.
They're taking on a narrative that really hasn't been seen on South African television.
Yeah, I mean, everything about it, it's very slick. And I agree with you. I think it's like a milestone in South African television. I think it's pioneering. And I kept saying that to Man. I think he's a pioneering producer-director, actually. I think that's kind of his forte, isn't it? Now that I'm looking a bit of his history. And yeah, one strong all-female cast,
yes.
And a bit away from the glam and the glitz, which is sort of swamping our industry at the moment. It's all the kind of surface stuff. Yeah. So and I love gritty African women playing those roles, because we're always being sort of suppressed and dampened down. And no, don't be, I get this in Europe. So angry. Like, it's not anger.
Yeah.
This is actually passion. This is
Absolutely.
actually the power of an African woman. But of course, it's terrifying. They can't quite deal with it.
We're still stuck in doubt and putting each other and ourselves down.
Yeah. I mean, a large part of it, obviously, is our history. In South Africa, it's apartheid, which then translates into colonization, which then translates into slavery. But we have to fight against that. And unfortunately, that does not come from the externals. It comes from what is within. So we have to make the decision that I belong in this world. Of course you do, because you're here, right? Along with everybody else, okay? And I have a purpose, and I have something to contribute. And I will not be apologetic about that. And that doesn't breed anger. Are you with me? Because if you have that self-confidence of knowing, I know the reason that I'm here, find that reason. If you're existing in the world and you absolutely identify yourself with a purpose, then that will build that self-esteem, because there's not much that can knock you off it. But because we've been taught not to, and I don't know, I'm still grappling with it as to the African experience and what is that thing about us always being apologetic. And maybe it is. Maybe it's linked culturally. I don't know. So maybe it's something we should look at.
We live in a world where we are free. Everything is at our fingertips.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's really holding us back is
Is us.
self-doubt. And
Yeah.
we're always grappling with it. And it's like, what are you supposed to do to get beyond that hurdle?
It really is about self-growth. The thing that aided me, and I have to say this, is my practice as a Nichiren Buddhist. And the reason I love my faith is because it's a faith about self-empowerment.
Yeah.
And its premise is that it begins and ends with you. You are the common denominator. You're the commander of the universe. And if you understand that at that fundamental level, with that comes a great sense of responsibility, thought, word, deed. If I understand that that's that powerful, that the way I think about my environment and myself will then inform the action that I take toward that. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So if that comes from a place of negativity, obviously that's what I'm going to breed. But if I come from a place of positivity and I am about, preserving the dignity of life and the dignity of life of others, which you will, because if I start with self-respect for myself, automatically, isn't it? I'm going to look at you and go, oh, well, she's the universe too. So's he. And in our practice, it's about that it is in fact us living beings who are the law. And once you recognize that, then you recognize it in yourself. So surely you want to take care of that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So for me, it really is about self-love, if you like, to put it in really simple terms.